Are you building your credit? Do you have the two pieces of credit at least by now?
I have been building my credit, yes.
They're very technology based. Gen Zs love the internet. Gen Zs love to research.
I have definitely started budgeting and planning ahead on how to put myself in a better place to be ready to become a first-time home buyer. The best way for mortgage brokers to put information in front of them and educate them is, again, through those digital outlets of information.
And A&D Mortgage has the ability to do blended income.
Welcome to A&D Digest, your trusted source for in-depth insights into the ever-evolving world of mortgages and home ownership. I'm your host, Nikita Verndap, and today's episode promises to be an exciting blend of market analysis and practical advice. First up, Aleksandr Simonelli, Sales Development Specialist, and Mark Glaser, Wholesale Team Manager, will help us shed light on the latest developments shaping the mortgage industry. Later in, the show will dive into the world of advising Generation Z homebuyers with their unique characteristics and preferences. Generation Z presents both challenges and opportunities for brokers. Together, we'll explore strategies guide this generation forward, fulfilling their home ownership dreams. Stay tuned for a compelling discussion that will equip with the knowledge and strategies to thrive in the mortgage industry and empower the home buyers of tomorrow. Mark, Alex, welcome to the studio. Thank you so much for joining us today. Alex, that's your first time here. Welcome.
It is a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to share.
So we basically gonna cover today the difference in the generations in the mortgage industry in general. So starting with the first question, Mark, how have you observed the evolving landscape of home ownership with the emergence of Generation Z?
We're finding with Gen Z, pretty much in their mid-20s, you're finding that they're attempting to purchase homes. They're just in their starter jobs. So we're finding a lot of the Gen Zs, more than likely when they get married and there's two incomes, is allowing them to purchase a home. I myself have a Gen Z in my home, and I'm finding that would be probably the case with him, where he would need to have a spouse, so there'll be dual income to be able to purchase a home, versus my generation, where you may only have needed one party, but due to home prices today and due to starter income, starter homes, you're finding that they'll probably need dual incomes to purchase a house for your typical Gen Z person.
Are there any unique characteristics that you find that could actually bring the home buying process for them?
Well, I think Gen Zs pretty much take care of that themselves. They're very technology based. Gen Zs love the internet. Gen Zs love to research, and pretty much they're amazingly on top of most subjects. And if it's a home buying experience, they already know where they're going. They already know the logistics. They already know the costs involved. I've had such conversations with my family, and they're putting together budgets already before they've even looked at a house. So they're very statistical, run.
Let's say, so before they're just renting their places, or they just live with their families. What is the main point for them actually to start thinking about getting actually a home?
I think it starts with income. A typical Gen Z begins in their job. They are interns, they're paid interns, and then they move up to a job. And then generally you probably need to be on a job for at least 2 or more years. You need to establish at least 2 pieces of credit, 2 years old, to begin the search. And they, from my view and my kids' friends, I see all of them working in this type of destination of having some credit, obtaining jobs, reviewing that they have the income to do it. They're all working and they're all thinking in this order.
So they're definitely planning that to happen in future.
They are planning.
In the nearest future?
I believe they're about a year out. They seem to plan ahead. They love to plan. Gen Zs love to plan ahead. It's very big.
Alex, you are the Gen Z, right?
I am Gen Z on the younger side of Gen Z myself, yes.
Nice. Are you already planning ahead?
I have definitely started budgeting and planning ahead on how to put myself in a better place to be ready to become a first-time home buyer. The challenges that Gen Z is facing at the moment is that home prices have been steadily increasing, with the average salary, especially a starting salary for a Gen Z, not increasing at the same pace that home prices have. And that is, I believe, one roadblock that a lot of Gen Z have been running into in the latest years, and might be delaying, as Mark said, the starting date of when a Gen Z is able to buy a house, and might need additional income from a spouse or a partner.
Are you building your credit? Do you have the 2 pieces of credit at least by now?
I have been building my credit, yes. The trade lines are all in revolving credit and some utility bills, and that is the extent of it. And I will be building on adding additional credit lines for myself as well.
And you're also building your savings too, I presume.
I am, yes. In the meantime, also trying to develop a job and income history stable that will support my application when going forward with the mortgage and the home purchase.
Couple questions too. So in that vein, how long have you had your current position or have had a job in the job market?
I personally graduated from the University of Miami about 7 months ago. So the first full-time position I had started in May of 2023. Which puts me, if everything goes well, best case scenario, about a year and a half away from being able to apply for a traditional conventional mortgage with 2 years history of employment.
That's, again, great planning.
Wonderful. Well, that actually sounds like a great plan. Alex, by the way, the Gen Z is typically characterized by being digital natives and information seekers, right?
Mm-hmm.
How can mortgage brokers effectively provide digital resources and tools to cater this tech-savvy generation during the home buying journey?
I totally agree with the point being that Generation Z is extremely tech-savvy, and the best way for mortgage brokers to put information in front of them and educate them is, again, through those digital outlets of information. Back in the day, it was infomercial. Now it might be a Instagram ad or a targeted Facebook ad. Mostly, yes, social media or expanding your online presence, given that Generation Z uses online resources for all of their information, is going to be the most efficient way for a mortgage broker to direct their information to the Generation Z and start preparing them towards the home buying process.
Do you find a website such as A&D Mortgage? So on our typical website, you would feel that the Gen Z would, let's say, go to our quick pricer and constantly see how or what a mortgage would cost through the rates, through that kind of quick pricer, even before they buy a home. They could literally go to our, would you agree? They would go to our website, see our quick pricer. They could even see products as a buyer. Even though they're not in the mortgage industry, they could still look at it as a buyer. Would you agree? Checking prices, checking rates?
I would totally agree, yes. Having tools like that, not only that will show you how much your monthly payment will be given a home price and an interest rate, but with the tools that A&D Mortgage provides, such as Quick Pricer, you can also see how the income type that you select to provide affect the rate that you will be paying for purchasing and owning a home. And another great tool that A&D Mortgage's website has is that it educates everybody, even people that have not been home buyers yet, on investor programs. And I personally, even though I don't have my first property yet, I have already been planning on how to structure the financing of my investment properties in the future, given that Generation Z has a wide aspiration of owning real estate in this country and increasing their net worth through real estate.
And what do you feel for the Gen Z as well? I've noticed you're very entrepreneurial. You are finding other businesses, not just your typical job, but are you not finding, and I've seen this as well from my family, we've heard of people starting their own websites, doing, whether or not you're running an Etsy or a Facebook or an Instagram business, they're finding these as other outlets to earn a living, not just from working for a party, but working for themselves. Do you find that as well?
I totally agree with that one, yes. Generation Z has been trying to use digital media and online platforms to create service-based businesses that help facilitate other business owners or users in primarily their online presence. Online businesses that you were mentioning do target a lot service-based businesses, which allow Generation Z to produce additional income from the comfort of their homes and in front of their laptops by, as you said, designing websites, marketing for business, or selling products online.
And then that would also take us to our A&D Mortgage programs, which are such as the bank statement loan, which would be great for someone who's entrepreneurial like that, or a profit and loss loan, with 2 months bank statements additional. This is for this kind of a person, a Gen Z party, and others like who do these types of internet-based businesses.
That's clear with the home buyers. What about the Gen Z loan officers and brokers? Any recommendations for them? Because like I definitely understand they love our technology, like the website, the quick price, the concierge service. It's all about that. Any recommendations actually to them?
Well, recommendations for your typical Gen Z mortgage broker out there, they're mostly what they're doing is they're first contacting their clients via the internet. I understand then they're providing services through emails as they grow a relationship through texts. There could be reason to do some old-fashioned work. Like when I grew up in the mortgage business, they may want to go out and start visiting, hitting the street. It can't hurt. Going to visit real estate offices, not just emailing them, not just texting them, but doing FaceTime with a realtor in order to garner their business would go a long way. In addition, they could educate some of the realtors who are old school in technology that they are so familiar with, and there could be some kind of a relationship together, and then they'll love it. Realtors will love it, and they could create a relationship with a realtor that will go on for many years.
I actually never heard about that idea to just to FaceTime the real estate agent. That's pretty good way to find new connections. Many in Generation Z have an entrepreneurial mindset, right? How should mortgage brokers adapt their guidance to accommodate the unique income streams and aspirations of this generation?
Everything, in my opinion, starts with education when it comes to mortgage brokers sharing the mortgages and different programs with their borrowers. And when it comes to Generation Z, having alternative ways of recording income, educating your borrowers in programs, for example, as bank statement or profit and loss, will allow these borrowers to qualify and use as much of the income that they have produced in the past through this business as qualifying income for their mortgage and their home. So again, going back to my point about education, mortgage brokers should expand their portfolio of mortgage programs that they are able to offer to the borrowers so that they can accommodate for the variety of income reporting that Generation Z and entrepreneurs have developed in the recent years.
And A&D Mortgage has the ability to do blended income. So if you have, let's say a Gen Z has a job like you, and you have, they call them side hustles, you have an alternate business. As long as the business has been, we would like to see 2 years. If you could document that, not only can you get credit for your W-2 income, but you can have another business as long as it's been established for 2 or more years, which is what is allowed as a second job. You can get a P&L or a bank statement on that, put the income together, and maybe qualify sooner for a job, for a buying a home.
Right. So we have 2 generations here, right? Mark, that's going to be a question more for you, I think. In your experience, you've been in the mortgage for a while, right? Tell me if I'm wrong, it's been 30 years?
37 years.
37 years. What's the biggest difference you see actually with the Generation Z and your generation?
My generation grew up literally going door to door for business. I was a mortgage broker, and I would visit my realtors. I would find myself, where did they go to breakfast in the morning? I'd make sure I was at where they went to breakfast. Where did they play golf? I would go and happen to play golf at the certain hours and bump into them. You want to make yourself available in the community that you service. A lot of times you want to be within 5 miles of where you live. And the big thing is make them your friends. Relationships, true friends. So that if they don't send you business, they're still your friend. And then if they have an experience or a poor experience with another broker, they're going to come back and turn to you. So make friends. Don't look for business, look for friendship. And then at a certain point during the relationship, if they need something, they're going to consult with you. And if you could help them, you do. Make as many friends like that you can. Make sure you give them accurate answers, accurate information. You need to be genuine. If you're genuine and you work it, you're going to get business. I have relationships for well over 30 years that still send me business. Amazing that they still do that. And all of that is because it's a friendship. And I don't get business from them all the time, but I get business, they call me, which is great. And when you bring it up to today for a Gen Z, if you can bring to some of the realtors who are millennial or older, and you could show them the new technologies. Maybe you could offer them little special things that they don't even think about. You give them a little bit information like that, you give them the ability, you become their friend, they'll use what you tell them and they'll go, oh my God, I got a deal for you, I have a deal for you. Creating relationships is everything.
Are they flexible actually using that technology? Are they ready to adapt to the new environment?
You will have resistance, but with someone like Alex here, if you show them how it works, it's amazing. If you take their iPhone out and you go, oh, here's what you need to do. You help them. They're amazingly happy when you do that. And then they're your friend forever. Oh my God, you got me on that app. I was able to put that listing on the app and I got it sold. And you know what? That sale belongs to you, the mortgage broker. Thank you for helping me. They'll help you for all the time.
Going back to the question that I asked before. So do you think that Gen Z is not making like friends anymore with the real estate agents? They just strong work relationship?
I believe they are making friends, but you want a strong friendship? Go see them. You can FaceTime them. You can have the internet conversations, the teams, your texting and your emails, but there's nothing like making at least a few visits a month and getting and saying, hey, and then they're happy to see you. Maybe take them to lunch. Do some of the old school, and not only will you bring them the technology that you know that they don't know, but they will show you relationships if you're visiting them like we're here today talking.
I can definitely add on to this one. One thing, there's definitely advantages and disadvantages to Gen Z being both brokers and borrowers in this industry is that with the use of technology, you're able to expand with a larger footprint, but at the same time, it's, as Mark said, the relationship are not as strong, and having that face-to-face interaction is extremely useful to further develop the relationship. So one suggestion I personally have is to use video as much as you can in your conversations, in your messages. If there is a way to leave a voicemail with video, or if there is a way to do a presentation via Zoom with one of your borrowers or your brokers, will be extremely beneficial to develop that relationship and additionally show them how to use technology to benefit your business.
They're happy to see you.
Absolutely agree. I'm really actually thankful for the technology that we have right now. So that relationship, even if the broker or the real estate agent is on the other side of the coast, you always can just like see their faces and have a conversation kind of like in person, but at the same time, no. Guys, I don't have any questions anymore. You basically answered them pretty clear. And I'm really glad that we covered this really important topic, I think. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us, and it's good to see you, my friend.
First time here. This has been great.
Definitely not the last.
Always happy to have conversations around the mortgage industry.
Absolutely.
And that concludes another insightful episode of A&D Digest. We hope you found our discussions with Aleksandr Simonelli and Mark Glaser enlightening and thought-provoking. If you enjoyed today's episode and want to stay updated with the latest insights from the mortgage industry, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Just hit that subscribe button below and you'll never miss an episode. We're committed to bringing you expert interviews and valuable analysis to help you navigate the dynamic world of mortgages. Thank you for joining us today, and we'll look forward to bringing you more exciting content in the future. Until next time, I'm Nikita Verindap, signing off.